What's up, guys? Welcome to Keto Rewind. I'm Jess and I'm back with my egg fast results. So before I get started, I'm not a doctor, not a medical professional. This video and this YouTube channel is based off my own weight loss journey. You should do your own research and see if, and talk to a doctor and see if keto's right for you. Okay, so let's get started with the results. I don't even know where to begin. There's so much to say about the egg fast. So I originally stumbled upon it because a lot of my viewers asked me if I have ever done it. So it got my curiosity. I looked it up, the whole 9 yards. So basically, if you want to know what an egg fast is, I made a video for like my before with those details, and this one's going to be mostly my results. So I have pros and cons about this, and then a conclusion. So I started the journey off 5 days ago. I decided to do the 5-day egg fast just because that's me. I always go, when I do that, I just go for the big one. Plus I thought I could give you a better results if I had done the full 5. So, but most people do the 3-day. So with that being said, I started at 233 pounds on Sunday. Today is Friday because it's the, I wanted to have a full result of the 5 days before I gave my update. So today's obviously, I will not have any eggs today. But my fast ended on Thursday, yesterday. So pros, I would say, let's start with the pros first. The first one being, it took this much time to plan a menu this week. It's really simple: eggs, butter, cheese. And so it took hardly any thought process, where before when I sit, I compute my macros. I make sure I play Tetris with my macros and fit everything all in, so I'm hitting my protein and staying under carbs and fat. So I didn't have to really do that this time because the macros are pretty much set up so that you're not going to go over your macros. So so I took zero time to plan my menu this week. I know a million ways to cook eggs without having to have a plan. So it was a huge time saver. And normally I start dinner around 5 o'clock. We're usually eating by 6, doing dishes and being done by like 6:37, so like that whole time I normally am spending downstairs in the kitchen, prepping and all that stuff for dinner and cleaning up. On the egg fast, I think we maybe spent 10 minutes making it. I made my kids soup all week, which they were super excited because they get to have soup all week. So they had a real easy dinner as well, but obviously they were not going to do the egg fast. But anyways, it took zero time to really cook, just whip up a couple eggs and clean up and done. So we had way more time in the afternoon or in the evening to do stuff as a family. We went to the park a couple of days. So we went swimming. Normally we don't have that much time, at that part of the day. So time saver, no real thought process when it comes to meal planning. Just follow the rules: eggs, butter, cheese. And so that was exciting. So then so the first day I did the full 4 eggs, 2 tablespoons butter, 1 ounce cheese, and that's a meal. And I did that meal twice a day, and I was so full. It was like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock the next day, and I still hadn't eaten yet, and I was still full. Okay, so I'm just leaving the gym, and it's like 2 o'clock, and I'm still not even hungry. Crazy, huh? So because I was like, well, wait a minute, when I normally lose weight on keto, I never try to hit that fat goal. I always stay under the fat goal. So I'm going to apply the same concept. So I adjusted it the second day and bumped the fat from 2 tablespoons of butter to 1 tablespoon of butter per meal. And that helped a lot. And then I could actually eat again, because it was like swimming in butter to have the 2 tablespoons of butter in that one meal. So I just adjusted that, and I still had the 4 eggs. I still want to hit my protein, but I went down to 1 tablespoon of butter and 1 ounce of cheese, and that was the meal ratios that I was using, and I had that meal twice a day. So here's a sample of what that looks like for my macros. And I definitely didn't try to hit my fat, but I have never experienced like 0 carbs before. So that was really exciting. And in my whole life, I've never had 0 carbs, let alone like 5 or less in a day. And I did it for 5 days and I didn't die. So it's possible. So yeah, that was a whole new first. That was kind of exciting to see how that feels like. So with that being said, I had so much energy, like so much energy through the roof. Woke up full of energy, you know. My mental clarity was amazing. Like I was just focused this week, which I normally am focused on keto, but it took it up like a whole nother notch, you know. So and that allowed me to get some more stuff done. So much that I just couldn't even sit in a chair. I had to keep doing stuff. So I tackled something that's been on my to-do list for 2 years, and that's start repainting the baseboards in my house. So I mean, who does that? But I had so much energy and I didn't want to sit, so I thought, well, let's get a project done, something that I've been too lazy to do for 2 years now, and that's to paint the baseboards. You know, they get yucky, they're white, they get yucky real fast. So I decided, I have a really big house, so I have taken on this project, and I got almost half of my downstairs done yesterday. So here's a quick picture of how pretty sparkling white baseboards look. All right, guys, I am painting baseboard today because I have so much energy. But look how gross that is. I have a long ways to go to make that pretty and bright again. Okay, so I'm gonna go make lunch. I am not even hungry. This is day 5. So let's go into the kitchen and make lunch. I have a tablespoon of butter, and I cut up an ounce of butter queso cheese, and I just need to add my 4 eggs to the pan. Okay, now I am going to add my pink salt, just like usual. Are you team runny egg or team dry egg? I can't stand runny eggs. I like dry eggs, dead eggs. So which one are you? Comment below. I got salmonella poisoning when I was a kid, so now I have like this weird thing where I make sure all of my food is super cooked, well done, not moving. So I'm not crazy. I have my reasons, but I like my yolks to not run. I like them nice and dry. So as you can see, I poke them all, and you can also see, look how nice and orange these yolks are. If you're going to splurge anywhere, I would splurge on a good quality egg. Oh my goodness. All right, I gotta get 2 hands. I'll be back when these are cooked. And there you have it. 4 eggs that were fried in 1 tablespoon of butter and an ounce of cheese. I had so much energy that it was easy to start tackling stuff that's been on a to-do list. So, energy. Not hungry, I kind of already touched on that. I had 0 cravings and 0 hunger. Welcome to day 3 of my keto egg fast. It is Tuesday, which is obviously day 3. I have today and 2 more days to go, and then I'm done. But I am feeling great. So I was looking at the clock, and I'm like, oh my, it's 1:15. I better go downstairs and make some lunch. So obviously I'm not hungry. So that's one thing to point out. But I am going to make some eggs for lunch. It completely took away my desire to eat, period. So that was, I don't know if it's because I was looking forward to eggs. I don't know, there might be some like scientific side of that, but I had no desire to eat at all. So it was, eating turned into kind of more like a chore than like I look forward to my meals normally. So that was also a new feeling I have never felt. I always want to eat. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And then I took the approach of more of a strict approach. I know some people on the egg fast still use sweeteners, like sugar-free or what do you call it, alternative sweeteners, keto-approved sweeteners. But I decided this was a challenge and I was not adding any sweeteners. The only spice that I added was salt. So I don't know if that was part of it. I know maybe if it was something that tasted sweeter, maybe I would have enjoyed the egg fast a little more, but I thought I want to rein in those cravings, reset my palate, and so I'm using this time, and we're going to have 5 days without any sweeteners. And it was fine. I did it. Let's see. So obviously weight loss, I was 233, and today I weighed in at 228. See video below. Okay, so it's day 5. And I am going to hop on the scale. So let's see where we are at. Let me turn the camera around. 228. Woohoo! And then my last pro would be anytime I feel like I'm getting sluggish, maybe I'm losing focus, maybe there's a stall on the scale, or maybe I just need to give myself another, reset. I'm totally going to do the egg fast. Yes, it was worth it. So, with all that being said, let's talk about the cons. Honestly, there's only 3 cons that I could think of. The first one, I did 5 days, right? By day 3, I was over eggs. I was, here's a funny picture. Like, we usually make fun of our kids because they take like an hour to eat their dinner. I mean, something that they should be done in like 20 minutes with, my kids just sit there and eat forever. So we're always yelling at them to hurry up, eat your dinner while it's warm, it's cold, your food's getting cold, that kind of thing. I was my kid this week. I was eating a bite and I'm like, like gagging on it. After the first 3 days, it was fine. Day 4 and 5, I was like gagging on the eggs, and it was taking me so long to eat. And I had 4 eggs to eat per meal. My husband was doing 12 eggs a day, or like 6 eggs a meal. And you're having how many chaffles?
This is 3.
3 chaffles?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Experimentation.
This is the kind.
I could barely get 4 in. It was actually starting to get funny, so I felt bad for him because he did this with me, and he totally was like, he was having a lot of eggs because he has a higher protein goal than I do. So he needed 6 eggs per meal, and that was a lot to eat. So yeah, I was gagging on the eggs. The second part, it was hard to hit my protein numbers. I normally lean on Canadian bacon, lots of chicken, lots of like random snacks that have protein in them, my protein bars. I couldn't have any of that on the egg fast. So I ended up the only thing I didn't skip out on is my collagen, which had some protein in it, but I still had to eat 8 eggs a day total. And that was a lot of eggs, so it was really hard, and I was still under, but I just couldn't eat another egg. I should have had probably 1 more egg to hit my goal, my protein goal. But I mean, I was like, I'm doing 8. It's only 5 days. I'm not going to die if I don't have that last egg. But I probably should have eaten that last egg. But if I wasn't, the first 3 days, I was feeling fine and I wasn't gagging on the egg. So it was day 4 and 5 that I was just like, I cannot eat another egg. And then the last con would be, I expected going into this, we were gonna have like a really cheap grocery bill this week. It ended up being like $5 cheaper than what we normally spend on groceries. Because I thought, we're just buying eggs this week. So we calculated how many eggs we have to eat between the 2 of us, my husband and I, and we didn't save any more money. And the reason is we buy our free range, pastured eggs at the grocery store. We don't, it's kind of inconvenient to go to the farm. I mean, we're in Texas, we have tons of farms, but where we are in my time and my schedule, it was just easier to buy them from the store. So they're like $5.99 a dozen, because for like the ones we get, because if you're only eating eggs, you better have a high quality egg, because the omega balance of the omega 3 and omega 6 makes it a healthier egg. if you're getting the ones that are scratching up the dirt and eating bugs and worms, and free ranging. So that's more like a higher quality egg. So you're going to pay more for that than the chickens that are just in a cage eating corn, So, but what I'm trying to say is the cost of the dozen of eggs still added up to about the same than I think we bought. I have 8 dozen eggs. Like people are looking at us kind of funny, like, why do you have so many eggs? But yeah, I mean, so we like literally bought all the eggs that they had. And so that cost money though. So overall, we didn't really save much on our grocery bill, and I was hoping to. So I did put that as a con. Now, in conclusion, I would do the egg fast again in a heartbeat. Yes, yes, yes. However, I would not do it for 5 days. I thought I didn't really see, I've been at 228 for 2 days now, and I haven't seen any more drop in the scale to make it worth the extra 2 days of like gagging on eggs. So I would totally do another egg fast, but I would recommend the 3-day egg fast. And that's enough to get you reset and going and getting the scale moving to give you that momentum to continue on or to keto on. So that's my overall update on my egg fast. And if all the people that have talked to me in my Facebook group and stuff, and we're sharing stories, and a couple people did experience diarrhea. So I'm adding this as a con, but I personally did not. However, with that being said, I was already pretty deep in ketosis because I was eating pretty strict already. If you were not deep in ketosis, you would have totally flushed and done a swoosh, and you probably would have had diarrhea. So if you are like jump starting or resetting or something, you will probably lose more weight than I did. I've seen people lose up to 10 to 12 pounds. So definitely everybody's results are going to vary. It will probably depend on how strict you were before you did the egg fast. And also, if you do it, make sure you calculate your macros properly. You do still want to hit your protein. You don't want to hit your fat. So pull up, like for me, I use Carb Manager. I pulled up Carb Manager and I just tweaked. I put 4 eggs in, I put 2 tablespoons of butter and cheese. And I looked at what that was. I'm like, ooh, okay, well, I can back off the butter and, and then I'll do this meal twice. And now my macros look great. So make sure you're playing around with it and make sure you watch your fat. 4 tablespoons of butter per day is a lot of fat. So definitely look at that number and see if you can tweak it down. For me, I found that I could eat one, like I was not hungry. So I backed down on the fat. So I found that I could have up to 4 to fit my macros in the day, 4 tablespoons. So I was having 2, but if I got hungry, I knew I could go get some more fat. I did not get hungry, but I'm saying I had room where I knew I could have 2 more tablespoons of butter if I needed it. So if I was feeling hungry or something like that, I would just up the fat and use that. So that's just a quick little where my thought process was on how to calculate those macros. But I mainly focused on hitting protein and then whatever the fat, and obviously there was no carbs, there were 1 carb. So I wasn't worried about the carbs for once, but just pay attention to the fat and protein and calculate your macros prior, and you should be able to figure it out. So if you did the egg fast with me, comment below. What did you find? How much did you lose? Would you do it again? That kind of stuff. So let's see what everybody else did. But that was my personal experience, and I will be trying the beef and butter fast next. However, I'm going to give it like 2 or 3 weeks before I do that one, just because I can't wait to have a salad for dinner tonight. My husband was joking with me. He's like, can we have salad tonight? What do you think if we go out to dinner and have some salad? And I'm like, yes! I'm like, oh wait, yes, honey. So, but yeah, we are ready for salad tonight. Chicken salads is on the menu for tonight. So anyways, that was my 3-day, or I should say my 5-day egg fast. And I didn't take any pictures other than the scale shot because my weekly weigh-in is on Monday, and we'll see. So now the next thing is, how will this affect until Monday I weigh in for my official weekly weigh-in? How is that going to affect? Is it gonna, and once I eat carbs, I should say, once I eat my vegetables, which is my carbs, what's that gonna do to the scale? Am I gonna go back up? And then, I don't know. So I will be interested to see Monday if I've lost more, or if I've maybe gained, or maybe if I stay the same. So we'll see. So it's come back Monday, and for my week 31 weigh-in, and we'll see what happened. Bye. Happy Friday. Have a good weekend. I'm Jess. You're watching Keto Rewind.